We are talking a lot about AI. Tell us about your approach at AllianceBernstein and how you're doing it in terms of the financial aspect and for clients, but also within the workflow.
Sure, yeah. I think AI has had lots of different impacts across the organization, right? From investment performance to client engagement to operations, right? So the impact is broad. I have 4 pillars to think about this, right? First is making sure we identify the right opportunities, right? And having AI really impact those. But the second and third pillars are just as important, making sure I build the foundational capabilities to empower the organization, right? These are tools that the whole firm can use. Third pillar is about making sure they have the dexterity and the talent to actually execute on those tools, right? So that's the third pillar. And the last one is really about governance, right? Making sure we do this in a responsible way. So those are the 4 pillars, and that's how we execute AI across AB.
What's a bigger promise for AI? Is it productivity within an organization, sort of reshaping how people work, or is it actually finding alpha?
Yes, certainly in the near term, it's productivity, right?
Okay.
That's about doing things faster, but eventually it's got to be investment alpha. My North Star is investment alpha.
How do you do that in an environment where everybody's using these same tools?
So it's really about filtering the signal from the noise. As you likely know, very low signal to noise ratio in finance. So how do you use these tools to filter out that signal, isolate the noise out, right? So there are a few ways. We'll all have the same tools. Certain techniques, right? First is proprietary data. We have data no one else has. The way we make decisions, the data we've collected over time, and the analysis that we've done over time, right? So proprietary data. Second is really prompting. How do you ask the prompt makes a difference, right? I'm sure you know that yourself, right? So the context is important. The last one, just as important, is fine-tuning. How do you tune these tools so that they align with our investment philosophy, our way of thinking, the way we do research, the way we manage portfolios, and hopefully that creates differentiated alpha going forward.
Proprietary data, it does feel like ultimately that's going to be the advantage. Yeah. So where is your proprietary, I mean, obviously it's proprietary, but what kind of data, like what is it that you guys are working with?
It comes in many different forms. It could be the way that you interact with the markets that you collected over time. It could be the conversations you had with your customers, suppliers, and companies. It could be the way we've made decisions over time, right? It could be the research models that we built over time, right? All of those constitute proprietary data. If I can then fine-tune these tools to think the way that we have done over history, you know, that makes these tools hopefully a lot better and produce alpha the way we've done in the past.
How is the team about embracing AI?
Yeah, they've been fantastic, right? So
everybody?
Wow, I mean, there's always a spectrum, obviously, as you know, right? But the way that I think about this is the ones who are great, the great investors, by leveraging these tools, they're like awesome now, right? So it's really empowering your best investors, and they see it, right? So when you see your colleagues doing awesome things, you know, getting investment alpha from these tools, they're like, yeah, I got to have some of that, right? So that's where we see this lots of people are embracing it because they see their colleagues really excelling with these tools, right?
Our colleague Lisa Abramowitz had a great interview with Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase yesterday, and he said something that really stuck with me. He said that he was asked about AI and the opportunity. He said, in like 30 or 40 years, my guess is people are going to be working 4 hours, 4 days a week, and living to 120. A lot of cancers will be cured. A lot of diseases will be cured. Food will be safer. Cars will be safer. It will be a wonderful thing. Do you agree?
I think a lot of that can definitely happen.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's, I would like to think that I'll be still working 8 hours, 10 hours, or whatever it is, because we'll just put our energies in different things.
Per week or per day?
Oh, I guess per day. I'm still thinking per day. He's saying per week, right? But the governance, but the safety side, I mean, I think those are the benefits, right? I think we still have to worry about the governance side, right? How do we make sure that we grow these tools in a safe and responsible way, that within finance and society, you know, we're able to leverage these tools in the right way.
Well, Andrew, when you laid out your pillars, was it 4 of them?
Yes, 4 of them.
Governance was at the end.
Yes.
How come? Why is it not number 1?
I view all 4 pillars as equally important. They support the foundation that we're on. So I just happen to name that as number 4.
So you're moving ahead in terms of governance. You're figuring it out as you guys go.
Governance has been like a critical part of how we think about this, right? It starts from the risk appetite your firm wants to take.
Right.
Is your organization comfortable with the risks that these tools introduce? What does that mean? What type of governance should you have? I feel like governance actually creates more innovation because once you know the rules, you know the sandbox you're able to play in.
Right.
I feel like our employees are able to innovate at a speed that's faster than they normally would.
I hesitate to end with this question, but does your
but I'm going to do it anyway.
Does your workforce become smaller as a result of it?
I think over time, what these tools do is really augment the tasks that they have today, right? I actually like to use the iron person analogy. I don't know if you heard of this before, but the iron person is as you know, a smart subject matter expert inside. So that means I still need the smart subject matter expert, an analyst, an accountant. It doesn't really matter what it is. But the reason I like the iron person analogy, that's the first thing. The second one is it's clear who is accountable for the decision. It's the human. So that's why, from my perspective, this is really like augmentation, growing the capabilities, giving them more breadth and depth.
Humans have fat fingers. Humans make bad trades.
It's true, but so do these tools. But hopefully, by combining the two, we can make better investment decisions, right?